Right, good day. We're here to do a progress check and have a look at our active calendar. You're with me, Kelsey Leverton. I'm from Later Life Training, and we are entering most positively into July. So it's the 1st of July 2021 today, and just a couple of things to check that you've got with you. An active calendar, if you've got one. If you haven't, don't worry, I'll talk you through the bits and pieces so that you're able to do your progress check, and you'll have an understanding of how to make a record of what your results are as well from today. Just a quick show of this page. It's the second page in your active calendar. It's got the chair, rise, test, how many sit to stands can you do. It's got the 4-point balance scale. Let me get my finger moving in the right direction here. And at the top there's a shoulder mobility, flexibility check, and also a back of thigh flexibility and movement check as well. So that's what we've got on the menu with regards to our progress checks. So we'll do those first. And then, if I find the right page in the active calendar, into July, we have a series of knee bend options for picking stuff up off the floor, getting down to those lower levels, whether it be a cupboard, under the stairs, a cupboard upstairs in the bathroom that's quite low down or what have you. So yes, we will be working on knee bends in 3 positions as our featured movement of the month. And I think that's about it for this movement snack. We will start as usual with a little bit of circulation boosting, just as that prepares us, switches our body on just a little bit more, and just gives us a little bit of warmth through our muscles and our joints before we enter into the flexibility checks. Muscles don't tend to like, and they will feel stiffer if they haven't experienced a little bit of a warm-up first. So here we go. We're going to start with a little bit of circulation boosting. Just before you do that, a quick check of your initial environment, making sure that you have got some external support. So I've got a heavy piece of furniture here. I've got a wall to the back of me that I could use as external support. Anything that's fixed or firm is a good option. With regards to the chair as well, ideally, if you've been doing these movement snacks and these progress checks with us for a few months running, then use the same chair. And hopefully that's firm, stable. A dining room type chair tends to be a good option here. Right, let us begin then. So some of you might be moving from a seated or a standing position, but first of all, let's look at our posture prompts. So here in seated and in standing, the same applies with just a couple of extra tweaks. Lifting and lengthening through your trunk. Feeling that space increase between your ribs and your hips. With the shoulders, just take them a little bit further round, back and down, so that chest feels lifted and open. Now in seated, you might want to bring yourself forward. So use a little bit of hip shifting, hip walking, so that you move yourself through to the front portion of the chair. In standing and seated, feet around hip distance apart, standing evenly over your feet or sitting evenly over your buttocks. A little bit of foot pedaling sets us off nicely into this circulation boosting. Moving through the ankles and getting a little bit of a bend and a crease across the tops of your shoes where your toe bones are. Holding on to your support or onto the side of your chair. You might want to bring it into a bit of a leg march. Just picking up the knees a little bit higher, not too high, and really sitting tall or standing tall through your posture. Keep on with that. I'm just going to come into standing And you may well know that when we offer the different options, you'll see us movement snacks chefs jumping up and down from seated to standing, turning from the front position to a side view to try and give you the best visual of what we're up to. Landing down through the heels, and you might feel ready to bring an arm swing in. So this movement, focus this on being from the shoulder. We're going to need the shoulder to do a bit of movement when we get to our first progress check. Change sides, keeping hold of your external support if you feel you need to. But you can also bring both arms into the mix, just getting a nice action there, marching through opposite arm to leg at your comfortable pace and speed. Shouldn't feel too rushed or hectic. Should be a nice flowing, rhythmical rhythm. Should bring some warmth through to your body now. A couple of 3 minutes is pretty much all we need to get ourselves a little bit warmer through the body and through the joints. The fluid in your joints will be loosening as it warms up and increasing our joint movement. Take a steady slow down of your pace, relax your arms by your side. We've just switched on or switched up a little bit our heart and our lungs, and our breathing rate may feel like it's changed just slightly. Job done. Okay, so this shoulder mobility, shoulder flexibility check, we're going to do from seated. Then we can remove any potential balance challenge in standing. So if you are in standing, do a little bit of reversing and lower yourself back down at a steady, controlled way. Coming forwards in the chair, and we've just got plenty of room and space to move our arms around in. So first of all, choose which side you'd like to start on first. I'm just going to go right side first. And here you take your palm up towards the shoulder. Can you reach your shoulder? Can you reach your ear? Can you reach the top of your head? The next part is, can you reach over to the back of your neck? Or any further? So can you reach right down towards the middle of your back and shoulder blade area? Wherever you can reach to without it being forced, shoved, yanked into place is your limit. So just make a record of where you can reach to in a reasonably comfortable fashion, like I say, without pushing or wrenching the arm, the shoulder into that position. Relax and recover, have a go on the other side, and we're just going to make a note of what we can achieve. And then we've got kind of a progress check going on, or that side I can feel a little bit stiffer than the other side. And you will notice differences between right side and left side, or dominant side, dominant, I can't say it, dominant side, that's better. All right, I'll give you a moment there to just jot down what you've achieved there with right side and left side. And the next thing we're going to go into is the back of thigh flexibility. Now we do a stretch for this muscle in our 4 p.m. Here's where we just add a little bit of a tweak to that positioning. So take out one leg. I'm going to go for left first. Lift your toes upwards so they are pointing to the ceiling. The heel's resting down, our knee is straight, but it's got a little bit of looseness in it. It's not completely rigid there. Don't let that knee pop up. Now let's just take a moment with the posture here. So sit up tall, really lengthening through your posture. One hand you might prefer to have that onto your bent leg to support you when you move down. The other hand is going to do the reaching, the other arm. So see how you can reach, how far you can reach. Can you reach to your knee with a straight back? Can you reach below the knee with a straight back? More towards the mid shin area with a straight back. Can you move towards the ankle? Here we are, with a straight back. Try and avoid any hunching. The minute you start to hunch over or twist, that's called cheating. So reset yourself and just try that again. Reaching your hand down. Can you reach towards your ankle or even towards your toes or beyond? Any which is great. Try and make sure that you're not bouncing and jerking this movement to try and get that bit more out of it. So the two factors here, straight back stays there throughout. No twisting with the upper body. And one more thing about the leg, try not to let the knee bend up. Keep the leg long and straight as you reach down. And when you're ready, we'll have a go on the other side. So toes up, legs straight, knee tucked in. One hand to support your top half. Our shoulders stay square to the front. And when you're ready, you'll feel that tilting, hinging from the hips as you start to reach down, and keep going with that. So number one is I can reach my knee. I can reach the top of my shin. I can reach mid-shin, reach the toes, or reach beyond your toes, which is a good old stretch there. Right side, left side, again, you might notice a little bit of difference there in flexibility, but that's quite normal as well. Mark up your results there, and we will move into our 4-point balance check. So we've got 4 positions of the feet to achieve here. I'm going to do this in standing because truly our balance can only be improved and worked upon and challenged in a standing position. In seated, we can rehearse the feet, the positions of the feet, and feel free to do just that if this is where you are at the moment. So the 4-point balance check, we're going to aim to hold for about 10 seconds in each position. Just going to pop this down. Feel free to hold on to your support as you get into and out of the positions of the feet. Sometimes doing just that can offer you a bit of a balance challenge in itself. The first position we're going to go into, if you're ready to join me, feet and legs together. Have a glance down, but then stand up tall through your posture. Your knees are just got a bit of looseness in them there, so they're not locked and rigid. When you're ready, lift your hand away from the support and hold it there for approximately 10 seconds. So this is 10 seconds without holding on. Now, if at any point, I think we're about there with the 10 seconds, so have a pause in between. If at any point throughout any of these 10-second holds, you touch down or you move your foot position, or you don't feel as if you can let go, then just finish the 4-point balance check at that point. Have a look at the rest, of course, though. If you're not confident to release your support, then it may be that the rest of the levels of this 4-point balance check might be a bit too much of a challenge for you. So listen to your body and stop, and don't go on to the following checks unless you feel you can. So there's the first position, feet together. The second position, we place our feet into what we call a semi-tandem position. So one foot into the instep of the other in a narrower stance. Holding on to begin with then, move one foot slightly in front of the other, and it doesn't matter which foot, slightly in front of the other, so you've got the toes into the instep of the foot that's slightly forwards. When you're ready, lift and lengthen, and here's your 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. hand back down if you made that, and bring your feet back to base. So slow but steady count of 10 seconds there. If you didn't quite make the 10 seconds, take your result as being level 2 or tandem, semi-tandem position, and however many seconds you're able to achieve. Here's the third stage of this balance check. Now I'm going to turn to the side so you can see the position that I'm putting my feet into. I'm going to hold on to the wall this time, so make sure you've got something there as you move your feet. One foot comes directly in front of the other, and this is what's called our tandem stand or our heel-toe stand. Now just as we get ready here, share the weight over the front foot and the back foot evenly, and again soften the knees, stand up tall, and then have a think about letting go of your support. You might feel your body adjusting and ankles twitching, knees twitching. Your trunk might be twitching a little bit to try and cater and manage for this challenge. So you're counting yourself 10 seconds and then coming back to that base position. Okay. Make a note of what you achieved there, and perhaps make a note of which foot you've got in front as well, so that next time, next month in August, when we replicate all of these, you can replicate it as you did it today. Right, our final challenge with the balance on this 4-point balance progress check is the one leg stand. Coming towards your support, you might feel better placing both hands onto it. In seated, this would just be a bit of a knee lift to the front, but in standing, we'd place one foot back first, just on the toes there, stand strong through the standing leg and hip, and just soften the knee on what will be your standing leg. Lifting the foot if you feel you can, and then taking your hands away from your support to try and hold for about 10 seconds. This is the most challenging one. I just touched down there. When you're ready, hold on to your support and recover. Which leg did you lift? Make a note of that. You might want to, after we've completed this progress check and the intro to July's movements, you might want to go back and just do it on with the other leg. Okay, it's up to you. I'll leave that with you. Right, moving on to the chair rise progress check now. So this is a progress check timed for 30 seconds. And I'm just getting my laptop ready. So I can time it 30 seconds with the countdown clock. There we go. Okay, so we've got our dining chair. Move yourself forwards in the chair so that your bottom is on the front portion, and this will make it easier to stand. You might want to have some support in front of you if you need it when you come into standing. Some of you may not. Also, tuck the feet back, press the heels down flat into the floor. Bring your body forward slightly, so we want a forwards and upwards push and drive. Now you're going to aim to either do full sit to stand, so looking like this, standing up and then sitting down. You can use your arms if that feels better and gives you more success. You could have your hands on your thighs out the way, or hands across your chest out the way. And your aim is to do as many as you can with control in 30 seconds. If you're not ready to boost up into standing just yet, you're working towards, then you can do maybe some sit to stands and maybe finish off with some jockey lifts. So just boosting your bottom off the seat as we've practiced in lots and lots of our movement snacks beforehand. If you feel you cannot stand at all, then just try and see and count how many jockey lifts that you can do throughout the 30 seconds. I'm not going to do them with you because I don't want my pace to try and dictate your pace. But a sit to stand, a strong stand and a controlled sit. Are you ready? Right, counter on the ready. Okay, everybody on your marks, get set, go. So we've got jockey lifts or sit to stands, or as many sit to stands as you can do in 30 seconds. That's 15 seconds gone. 15 seconds to go. Nearly there, you know the change of tune. There we go, there's your 30 seconds. How many did you get? Make your notes about how many you did, how many jockey lifts, sit to stands, or a combination of both you achieved there. There we go, progress checks done. So hopefully over time, you'll be able to see how you're improving. Right, here we go then. On July's knee bends in 3 positions. And there is a fact of the month as well. So I'll just read out what this fact of the month is for July. Hang on, I have to get my glasses up. Did you know that standing on one leg for a minute 3 times a day can help improve bone density at the hip? There we go. Glasses on. There's your fact of the month. And here's your movement of the month. Knee bends in 3 positions. Okay, so we've got our first knee bend position, and you might prefer to do this holding on directly in front of you in standing. You may prefer to come sideways on, so you've got a bit of support here, or you may not need any support at all. What we're aiming to achieve here is our feet at hip distance apart and our weight evenly spread, so we're bending through our knees equally. We're aiming to protect the knees as well, because knees can be a bit grumbly, can't they, and a bit of a nuisance sometimes. So with this knee bend position, the emphasis is on you pushing back your bum. Can you see I've kind of changed my body into a zigzag shape there? So straight position here, lengthening through, lead it with your tail, the chest and top half tilt forwards, and the knees bend, and then everything kind of straightens up again. If you look at the chair behind me, it's that position that we're trying to achieve when we are going through a stand to sit position. So my bottom is searching for that chair. Standing up tall, taking a quick pause. Now here with the knees, to protect the knees and to work them in their best alignment and positioning, try and keep the knees tracking the same lines as the toes, like a ski position. You'd see people ski in this position. So the knees aren't knocking in. The knees also aren't shooting forwards over our toes. Have a look from the side there. This is where we'd like them to be. I can still see my toes of my shoes here, but if the knees are forwards, then I can't see my feet at all. So just use that maybe as a bit of a checkpoint. In seated, this could be your jockey lift, knee bend type position. Have a go at a few of those. morning, noon and night perhaps, or each time you do that type of move during the day, set it up and do it with conscious thought and effort. The second position, wider. Have a go at opening out the feet, so turning out the feet and the knees turn out here as well. And this is the same. The bottom sits back as if we're doing a wide knee bend, sit down type position. The body comes forwards, hinging from the hips, just as it did in that last one. This can be done from seated as well, with a wider position of the feet into a wider type jockey lift. Wider knee bends come into play when we're maybe loading the washing machine, maybe doing something at lower level where we have to stay here for a bit longer. There we go. There's your knee bend second position, working evenly through those legs of yours, making sure that they're both doing their fair share. Take a pause. Our final one here is just a slight split of the standing position. You might want to do a few with the right foot in front and then have a go at a few with the left foot in front. So it's not a huge stride, a mini stride. This is a knee bend where we keep the heels down as well, and it's the same, sitting the bottom back. You'll feel more work through this leg that's underneath you than the one that's slightly in front. Sitting the bum back, keeping the feet flat on the floor. Take a few of those through each side. You should get some work going through the front of thighs here. If you are in seated, again, split the stance but not too large a stride. Bring your body weight forwards and try and power up and do a little boost jockey lift, getting off the seat a little bit. You will feel it on the leg that's tucked back that little bit. So the legs won't be working quite as evenly as they were through that first and second option. But we can get some good focus through a bit more load and strengthening through one side at a time. And there we have your knee bends in 3 positions. We use these knee bends in lots of different positions to get down to our lower levels to do stuff, picking up stuff, putting stuff away, getting stuff out, and so on and so forth. Some of these knee bend positions can offer you a bit of, well, they will offer you a bit of work around the fronts of thighs, and they may offer you a balance challenge as well. So do have your support close by in case you need it, or in case you need it all the way through. Right, and I think that's done. That's July's setup of movement snacks and a progress check. Until next time, everyone. Didn't Baron Greenback used to say that from Danger Mouse or something? Until next time, everybody. Some villain did anyway. I'll see you on the 4 p.m. if you're around today. And that's us done for July's progress checks and featured movement of the month. Thanks a lot, everybody, and we'll see you again soon.